Adobe Creative Suites 5.5 is the obsolete technology that is the focus of this project. The technology was found on my work computer, and the boxes of software are hidden somewhere in a closet. Though this is the technology provided for developing our products, I work from my personal computer. Adobe Creative Suite 5.5 has become obsolete due to not only the development of newer tools, but due to the emergence of new technologies that require the Adobe products to change in order to maintain its leadership role in design software. According to Adobe, changes in industry, the growth of mobile technology, social networking, and cloud storage are proponents of what made Adobe Creative Suite 5.5 obsolete. The way that society consumes technology has changed in the last 5 years. This technology has been replaced by Adobe Creative Cloud 2014. Adobe Creative Cloud 2014 has emerged to replace Creative Suites 5.5. Between these two software iterations were Adobe Creative Suite 6 and Adobe Creative Cloud. According to Adobe, in these 5 years, 10 times more people are on social networks. There are 100 times more mobile apps and 200 times more people storing data on the cloud. The reason behind integrating this emerging technology into my organization and my daily workflow was addressed in Adobe's keynote address with the release of Creative Cloud 2014. With the release of Creative Suite 6, 1 year after the release of Creative Suite 5.5, Adobe announced that it was offering its Creative package as a subscription on the web. Creative Suite 6 would be the last standalone package that could be purchased. The reason this is significant to our organization is because there have been over 1,000 updates since Adobe moved to the cloud prior to the release of Creative Cloud 2014. These changed all focus on performance, productivity, and Adobe Magic, all key to faster, more professional products for the organization and its customers. The compatibility of workflow and the ability to work in a rendered mode are revolutionary and an amazing advancement for design. The focus on integrating mobile technology and 3D design have an impact on the products produced within the organization.
As a decision maker, I always look forward to leveraging new technologies such as Adobe Creative Cloud 2014. Unfortunately, due to fiscal constraints and network security concerns, the approval process to obtain such technologies can be quite lengthy and challenging.
As a designer, Adobe Creative Cloud 2014 is a go-to for design, even though Adobe Creative Suite is what our organization is still using. Adobe Creative Cloud increases my productivity. For example, a coworker spent 2.5 days trying to figure out how to create a 3D object. When he asked for help, I was able to complete that same task in just 5 minutes. Our company paid someone for 20 hours worth of work that was unnecessary and frustrating for the designer.
McLuhan's tetrad is divided into 4 sections. Each represents a law of media. When looking at these 4 areas, it is possible to identify what effects a technology has had on changes within society. The 4 regions are: 1. Enhance. The technology needs to enhance its objective. 2. Retrieve. The technology pulls back a previous objective to redevelop it using a new approach. 3. Obsolete. A prior technology is no longer needed because a new technology has taken its place. 4. Reversal. What objective may emerge to replace the technology? The tetrad for Adobe Creative Suite 5.5 shows how each of these areas have influenced the technology. Each of the quadrants plays a role in defining the emergence and obsoleteness of Adobe Creative Suites 5.5. This is a tetrad for Adobe Creative Cloud 2014. This tetrad shows the key principles that have impacted the emergence of this software. With continuous updates in the integrated workflow, this product will likely not become obsolete until technology reaches a point that it no longer requires desktops, tablets, and smart devices. It will likely continue to evolve unless it is disrupted by a new competitor or it falls behind in the race. Dr. Thornburg introduces 6 key forces to explain how new technologies emerge. These are evolutionary technologies, rhymes of history, disruptive technologies, science fiction, increasing returns, and red queens. We will look at each of these areas and their relationship to Adobe Creative Suite 5.5 and Adobe Creative Cloud 2014. An evolutionary technology is one that evolves from a previous technology and continues through the emergence process with a customer base already established. Both the emergence and the obsolete process of Adobe Creative Suite 5.5 are strongly impacted by the force of evolutionary technology. The same is true for the emergence of Adobe Creative Cloud 2014. There were other iterations along the way, and over 1,000 updates have been made across apps within the package prior to its release. The new format of subscription-based ownership pushes updates to the consumer as they are developed, and big changes are released in new releases, which will likely be what obsoletes Adobe Creative Cloud 2014. Mark Twain said that history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. Rhymes in history are when something rekindles something from the far past. The force of rhymes in history are difficult to use as an explanation for the emergence and obsoleteness of Adobe Creative Suites 5.5 as a package of software developed as a combined force, Adobe Creative Cloud 2014. It was more disruptive to history in its early iterations than a rhyme or repetition of history. A disruptive technology is a technology that comes from nowhere, meeting the needs of an existing technology, but obsoletes the previous technology unexpectedly. Adobe 5.5 did not disrupt technology when it was introduced. It was an upgrade from a previous technology and maintained momentum for Adobe when it was introduced. There were several iterations between Adobe Creative Suite 5.5 and Adobe Creative Cloud 2014, which held some gradual changes and some substantial changes. Adobe Creative Suite 5.5 was the first mid-cycle upgrade that brought Adobe from 18 to 24 months upgrade cycles to 12-month cycles. However, a disruptive technology did not influence the obsoleteness of Adobe Creative Suite 5.5. The emergence of Adobe Creative Cloud 2014 was not disruptive in its own accord. However, the fact that it no longer offered a standalone package and held to that and did not turn back with Adobe Creative Cloud 2014 is revolutionary and disruptive. The decision of Adobe is having an impact on other companies, such as Microsoft, who are watching and learning through Adobe's change and dissemination process. There are many people who have conflict with Adobe's decision, yet, according to Adobe, at the end of 2013, there were 1.4 million paid customers using the Creative Cloud. Science fiction writers often turn to science to learn about emerging technologies to integrate into their films, though imagination is still a part of the process. Seeing emerging technologies in action may impact the emergence pattern of a new technology, bringing it to the tipping point quicker than it might have been on its own merit. Science fiction does not play a role in the emergence or the cause of obsoleteness in Adobe Creative Suite 5.5. Science fiction also has not been influential in the emergence of Adobe Creative Cloud 2014. However, the suite is used to create science fiction movies. In the Red Queen hypothesis, the premise is that an organism has to continuously evolve or it stands a chance of becoming extinct. The basis of the hypothesis comes from a scene in the book Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. The Red Queen and Alice have been running for a long while, and Alice stops to take a break and tells the Queen that they seem to be in the same place they have started. Their conversation follows. Alice looks round her in great surprise. "Why, I do believe we've been under this tree the whole time. Everything's just as it was." "Of course it is," said the Queen. "What would you have it?" "Well, in our country," said Alice, still panting a little, "you'd generally get to somewhere else if you ran very fast for a long time, as we've been doing here." "A slow sort of country," said the Queen. "Now here, you see, it takes all the running you can do to keep in the same place. If you want to get somewhere else, you must run at least twice as fast as that." Based on this, a species, or technology, needs to run, or evolve, in order to stay in the same place, exist. When an organism stops running, changing, the result may be extinction. In the book The Demon by Daniel Suarez, the demon evolves as a parasite from within the network to eradicate the portals of civilization. Through a gaming framework, the demon infiltrates humanity and runs twice as fast. The demon had been living with and running with technology. The Red Queen hypothesis was the key to the demon's success. He explains on page 295 that a parasite evolves and moves through any system, not just living things. The less variation there is in a system, the more readily parasites will evolve to infest it. He goes on to state the perfect replication is the enemy to any robust system. The more uniform the host, the more effective the infestation. The Red Queen paradigm in relation to software is for companies to learn from their rivals and to move a step beyond the competition. The predator becomes the prey, and the prey the predator. This continuous running in place is what leads to more productive and effective evolutions of emerging technology. The company Adobe has been running with companies such as Microsoft and Apple as its software emerges and changes over time. One of Adobe's biggest competitors is Articulate when it comes to responsive design and e-learning. Adobe Creative Suite 5.5 became obsolete as it raced to keep up with customer needs. Compatibility with new technologies such as tablets and new coding applications requires a change in application for users. Changes in society are also what led to the emergence of Adobe Creative Suite 5.5 when it was developed. The Red Queen is useful in explaining why Adobe Creative Cloud 2014 emerged to replace Creative Suite 5.5. Adobe Creative Cloud 2014 has not only stayed in the race, but has ran faster by moving their service to the cloud. This was innovative and a new model. In this moment, they have ran ahead. They will likely work to emulate what Adobe has accomplished to stay in the race. The increase of returns looks at two competing technologies that emerge at the same time. Each technology can accomplish the same goal. One of the technologies thrives and emerges while the other falls to the wayside and becomes obsolete. The better technology is not always the one that is adopted. Adobe Creative Suite 5.5 did not emerge or become obsolete based on this force. However, Adobe has competed for the top spot against Articulate Storyline for many years. Neither has become obsolete because of the other, but it does drive updates and advancements in each of these technologies, which makes the consumer voice louder. The release of Adobe Creative Cloud 2014 has put the company ahead of Articulate Storyline as the leader in design software. However, Articulate Storyline's last update was at the end of 2013 and they are still in the race. Only time will tell. An increase of returns did not play a part in the emergence of Adobe Creative Cloud 2014. For my organization, keeping up with emerging technologies may continue to be a challenge. As new technologies emerge, security may be more intertwined and may alleviate the conflict. However, there is a good chance that as goals and priorities shift, the way the technology is integrated will need to change. Emergence of future technologies is driven by and influenced within the six forces by society and humanity. They each work off of each other as well as alongside of each other. My emerging technology will never find itself in the supply closet because it is no longer a tangible object. It is a part of the computing world's cloud, given life in a virtual system. The software will be changed and will be replaced by something that matches the progress of other emerging technologies, the needs of society, and the dimensions of future rhymes that have not yet been thought of. This will continue until Adobe becomes obsolete.